Are we good?
Yeah. Is the red light on?
It is.
Been on.
It is.
Well, I turned it off and then back on.
So, what are we starting with here?
I think we start with penguin.
Penguin?
Penguin. Yeah, and then we'll probably morph into something else. Megamorph. Maybe we'll talk about board games.
Mighty Morph Power Rangers?
We could, absolutely. I'm not talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Fuck. Shondo Bondo. Okay. Here we are with a new episode of Pints and Pages. I'm Nick.
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
And today, episode, we are going to discuss Penguin. Brad still hasn't watched it yet, but he does have some shows that have ended now, so maybe we can maybe we can talk him into watching it. I'm watching it. It's my favorite show on TV probably right now.
I agree.
Hasn't been for the last couple of weeks. No offense to Agatha, but it's been it's dark and gangster and like it's everything that Agatha wasn't, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a Batman world. So it's like I said, it's been very good. So I'll get into. And I don't know, I can't remember when the last time we talked about it was, but I know that this last week's episode, episode 6, was, I thought, Colin Farrell's best episode, like, as the Penguin. Sophia, what's her name now?
Gigante.
Yeah, Gigante.
I think I said that wrong the other episode.
Yeah. She was in it for a little bit. There was a continuing storyline, but this was definitely Penguin's episode. Like he gives a speech. He calls all the bosses minus the other two. The Falcons. Because he still calls them the Falcons. The Falcons and the Maronis have been running the city, and everybody just kind of has their own little niche, but they all stay out of the way of the Falcons and the Maronis. The one big family that runs it all. And it was the Maronis first, and then the Falcons next. And Penguin gets them all together and sits on the back of a truck and gives this speech that is
hands out beers first.
Yeah.
Hands beer out to everybody, and they're all like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he gets in the cooler, gets beer, hands it to, because basically it's the leaders of the individual gangs and their underbosses. Carlston. So he gives them all the beer, and he gives this story about the Falcons never gave a shit. They don't even know who we are. Like, they don't care about us, and it's time for us to take this city back, and we need no leader, no big family, no master boss. It's all of us, and we all know each other, and we all have each other's backs, and we're going to take this back from Sophia Falcone and Maroni. And, and then he cracks open a beer, and then slowly everybody in the thing starts opening beers. Yeah. And, so it was a very well-timed speech. It was a good speech. It was just, It
rivals Sophia's speech that, 2 episodes previous. And like you were saying before we started, it rivals probably some of the best speeches on TV. Like, they're just fucking amazing in their delivery.
Yeah, the dialogue that they give, like, the writing has been phenomenal and the performances have been spot on. Like, he is it's just an embodiment of the Penguin. We got a lot more into his mom's disease, I guess, in this episode. So you felt bad for him because his mom's going through some shit, obviously.
At some point the camera cuts. I can't remember when exactly it is because we've went out of order of the episode. But it cuts and she is in a freezing bathtub. Like Oz opens the door trying to find his mom and ends up opening the bath. Or no, she yells for him, and he's like, "Ma, you all right?" And she's like, "Don't look, but come in here. I need help." And he goes to pull her out of the bathtub, and he's like, "What the fuck? It's freezing. How long have you been in here?" And you find out she's been there all goddamn night because she couldn't get herself up. She basically she didn't fall. She was taking a bath. She just couldn't get up out of the tub, so she ended up being there all night. And you find out, like, you see him take care of her, and she ends up asking him, "Hey, I know my mind is going to go before my body stops. You have to kill me. The moment my mind leaves me, you are to kill me. I'm not going to be one of those women that is stuck babbling and having someone wipe my ass, and I'm not going to lose my dignity.
Right.
Because without my dignity, what am I?"
Okay, so just to interject, she's in the bathtub and she can't get out, and it's cold. It's her own damn fault. Just dump some of the water out and put new hot water in. Like, drain some of the water.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
You could have been warm.
Yeah.
So you can't.
Yeah.
Now, well, to be fair, there's no power.
Oh, yeah. We've been jumping around. There's no power.
So the water would have been cold regardless, and you have no way of telling how long she's been in there by the temperature.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've never experienced
3 degrees colder than it.
Well, they do have a generator, I guess.
They have a generator,
I don't know.
But I also have friends who have personally experienced things of like having to boil water on a kitchen stove to heat up their bath to take because they don't have power. So, like, I mean, she could have done that, had a semi-warm bath, and then by the time he gets there, it's freezing.
Right.
But
I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But
either way, they eventually. I mean, you're not wrong. She could have just pulled the plug. Well, no power, so no water like that. But she could have just pulled the fucking plug and drained it.
Yeah, probably.
But, yeah, long story short.
What if it's a gas water heater? You don't need power.
That is true.
That is very true. Yeah.
That is factual.
So, just saying.
God damn you.
That is fantastic.
You gotta have some input for these.
Yeah. They,
But that breaks Oz, long story short.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that, like, and then it cuts to a scene, and Victor is pushing the new drugs, the Bliss, on the street for Oz. Basically, he's the middleman giving it to all the dealers, giving all the dropping them off and stuff. And he runs into a guy he grew up with in that area who's a drug dealer, and kind of like, he wasn't in any family, but he kind of ran shit locally on the block where he was at.
He was a street corner thug, basically.
Yeah. And he starts harassing him, is like, "You're going to introduce me to Oz. You have all this money. You're people. You're from here. We can't eat. We don't have anything, blah, blah, blah." And Victor ends up going, all right, we're down here. Takes him down to the subway stairs. About halfway down, just rotates and shoots him right in the throat. And it's Victor's first kill. And and it just goes ape shit from there. I love it. Dad heard me from in here. I was screaming. I was like, "Let's fucking go!" I was so happy to see him take that first blood.
Yeah, it was definitely a come to Jesus moment for him. He tried to pay the guy off. He was like, "Here, take all the money that I've got.
I'll have more for you.
You just don't want any part of this. Like, you don't want any part of this. Like, you need to leave us be and keep your mouth shut. And, like, I will pay you to keep your mouth shut and stay away." And the guy was like, "No, that's not going to work for me." Because he's basically like, kind of like, I'm gonna take your fucking spot, and and then Vic just fucking shoots him. He's just like,
The bad part for Vic, because obviously he feels bad, never killed anyone, hit the dude right here. So then he has to, like, then he's staring at him, just watching him bleed out.
Basically,
You're a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I thought it was dark when Penguin realizes what had happened without Vic ever saying, "Hey, I shot a guy," and he just hugs him in a warm embrace like a father would, and then just whispers in his ear, "It gets easier. It will get easier."
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like it shows the like, okay, Penguin does have a heart, but then at the same time, there's still a dark side there that's still going to show itself where he's like, you're going to have to keep doing this.
Yeah.
It'll get easier, but don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You'll quit feeling like this will be normal.
Yeah.
You'll be a piece of shit here soon.
Yeah. He kind of was like, did you take care of the problem? And he's like, I did. And he kind of breaks down, starts crying or whatever. And Oz takes him in. So it was a good part of the episode. Sophia was doing her own thing. She's trying to track down Penguin at the very end of the episode.
Oh my God.
She is standing in the apartment where Vic and Oz's mom are, and Oz is not there. So
And Vic's taking care of his mom.
yeah, so Vic's taking care of Oz's mom while Oz was at the meeting with the bosses.
Yeah.
So
Meeting of the beers.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's kind of where it left. I fast forwarded to the end so I could watch the preview for next
I was going to
week's.
ask, did you watch the preview? That's what made me decide I'm going to start watching trailers was I
Yeah.
saw that preview
Yeah.
and got hyped.
So obviously she takes them,
Yeah.
and then Penguin is like in a panic trying to find them. So
And she gets Penguin too.
she ends up with all of them. So
Yeah, she ends up with all three by the end of the episode.
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how tonight, actually it'll be tonight's episode goes. We are taping this a week early, so because next week we'll be in
We'll be
in Las Vegas. So Brad will be recovering from a soup party.
Yeah. Lots of
And
soup.
we'll be in Las Vegas. So we are
I'll hopefully not be blowing all of my money on a blackjack table. No promises.
So I was telling Levi earlier, I had heard, and it's not been confirmed, but I had heard that the Penguin show is doing so well and been so well received that they've actually kind of pivoted in Batman Part 2 with Sparkle Wayne, the Pattinson,
Oh.
is gonna, like, Penguin and Sophia Falcone are going to be either prominently displayed in Part 2 or they're going to be the big bads in Part 2. So the show's, I mean, it's been doing well. It's one of the highest rated. Its premiere episode had more viewership than the series finale of Succession, which was an HBO show that had that's won like best drama like the last like all 5 seasons that it aired.
Damn.
So I think this Penguin show is gonna kick off like what we could get a very dark and brooding sort of non-Christopher Nolan Batman like universe.
And I would love to constantly see it from the bad guy's perspective. Like, I would love if after they wrap up Penguin, I don't care how the Batman movie integrates with all of this, give me a Poison Ivy show. Or give me a Dr. Freeze show. Or give me someone. Or even switch it up and go Superman. Give me, I'm losing the...
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Lex Luthor.
Let's look at it.
I almost said Dr.
Pull up
Lucifer.
a list of DC superheroes.
But I would love for them to, almost like opposite of Marvel, not opposite, Marvel only does superheroes, but like all their movies be about the heroes, but all their TV shows be about the villains. Because that gives more time to see that underbelly, that what is really going on for all of this to happen in the Batman movie. Because, I mean, we watch superhero movies and we're like, yeah, the bad guy's got this plan. He's a fucking piece of shit. That's all we really care about. We want to hear more of Batman's backstory. And then these shows would, like I said, give the ability to go into so much detail.
The thing that DC villains have over Marvel villains, and I'm going to say this, and people are probably there are exceptions to this rule. Don't get me wrong, but the consensus is their backstories are a little more interesting.
They have depth to them.
Yeah,
I'm going to be the asshole. All of DC's villains have way more depth than any Marvel villain has, with some exceptions in there.
Yeah, like DC keeps it pretty simple with Lex Luthor and Joker and Penguin, and if you jump to the Flash, you got Reverse Flash. Like, they all have very humanizing backstories.
Yeah.
To make that could make a very interesting TV show. Like, I mean, honestly, Batman and Gotham City has this whole crime underbelly, you don't necessarily could take Penguin out and insert Catwoman or Joker, but they're all part of that seedy, like, underbelly of Gotham. So, like, they all have these backgrounds and stories that they're not interchangeable, but they all are still, and that world is so vast. Now, you probably, Lex Luthor, like, the only, like, Metropolis really doesn't have that. It also helps that the DC superheroes are all from fake cities.
That is true, too.
Well, like, they're all from, like, Marvel is like
Metropolis and Gotham.
Yeah, Marvel.
It's like, no, this bitch is happening in Brooklyn.
Yeah. So that probably doesn't lend well for.
In reference to the direct borough, and they don't even skip the shit.
Right. Yeah, they don't. And I mean, obviously, actually, I think more in this show than anything, they almost in this Penguin show, they almost make Gotham look more like Chicago than New York.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. It's Gotham, Chicago, New York is
Metropolis. Okay.
And they're depicted, I think, across a large body of water from each other, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's Capital City, which is where Flash is from.
Which I'm not sure what that's supposed to depict.
So
DC. I'm just guessing.
Know. Probably Philly.
I'm thinking it's Philly. I'm thinking it's closer to Philly.
Would make sense.
Yeah, I think it's closer to, like, Philadelphia, but
used to be our capital.
Yeah.
So
the more you know.
With a little, if you could put a star, like the rainbow, you don't know that, do you?
I'll try.
No, like you.
No, I know what you're talking about.
We'll give him a good hand gesture.
And so there you go. The more you know.
Yeah. I have a week to work on it. So.
Yeah, it's just going to be us waving.
It is. We're going to look ridiculous.
Put a dildo in our hand.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That would be fantastic.
The Disney Channel, but it's a dildo.
So that's Penguin, and I mean it's like I said, it's good.
Okay.
He doesn't watch it.
So throughout the series, has it shown Penguin having dinner at any amount of time? Like
a couple of times.
Eating meals.
A couple of times.
What were those meals?
Normal.
Like what?
Like
was any of them fish?
No.
Perhaps raw with the scales still on it.
No.
So Danny DeVito had a better lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's eating like bread, like he ate like what was it, scrambled eggs and
pasta
and toast, and and then he was
pasta gabagool.
Yeah, he was eating at the restaurant. It was probably steak, I think, is what he was eating when he was with Sophia.
Yeah,
they should have him eat a fish. I need Penguin to be a little more weird than just a mob guy.
See, but in this, Penguin is almost used like an insult to him.
Well, I know, but
just add
to the insult.
I guess.
quit calling me what I am kind of thing. And then he eats one of those, when you ever had a fancy ass cooked fish that's still got the head on it and shit.
I'm allergic to fish, so no.
So he hasn't. Yeah. Otherwise, he'd be our Obi-Wan ghost.
He would.
Yeah, I would be your guys' Obi-Wan ghost.
Yeah, strike me down and I will only become stronger.
Yeah. So hit him with a fish.
I was going to say, so one of these days, Brad's either going to smack me with a fish or he's going to slip some fucking salmon into my food.
You're going to hear me chant fucking like an anime...
Shark bait! Shark bait! Ooh ha ha!
No, it's going to be... Mahi! Mahi! Slap!
I'm gonna replace all the allergy meds that he takes with fish oil and see if he breaks out.
Flintstones vitamins. and then I'll slap him after a couple weeks.
So,
maximum effect.
I love how I'm plotting my death so that way I can become your Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll get on it.
It makes sense.
Hold on, I have a question though. Why is it the youngest out of all of us has to die and become Obi-Wan?
Have you ever seen a council of young people?
Alright, you got a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you want a young ghost? Do you want my dumb ass as your ghost?
Yeah, you're impressionable.
Yeah.
Go steal us some shit from the gas station.
Yeah. You would be the one that would be like, who do you want me to kill? Like, who's falling down the stairs oddly today?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You guys do make valid points here.
Like, hey, possess the guy playing Commander with me and tell me what's in his hand.
Wow. After Brad's co-host died, he suddenly became the world's best Magic player.
Yeah, I don't. Would he need to possess him, or could he just like walk around the table?
No, possess him so that way he could be like, I will go to combat, and I'll go to my instep, and I'll pass. Yeah. And he just does that every time. And it's like, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. It's just
Levi's just jumping to bodies, going, "Oh yeah, pass. I'm good." like,
I'm gonna go to discard. I'm gonna discard all my lands.
Are you gonna play land for turn? No.
No, so you may, right?
Oh, that's funny shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we'll take the Pro Tour force.
Yeah.
Yes, we would.
That's amazing.
And then you kind of, it's like getting to live forever in a way.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, playing Magic. What you love. Well, not technically playing Magic. You're
being a spooky guy.
Yeah, you're looking at cards but never playing.
No, he would be, because if he possessed them. We could literally go get homeless guys to play in our Magic games. We just go find a homeless guy and be like, hey, just come play cards with us. And he sits down at the table, boom, possess him. You get to play cards with us. And then, when you're done, we're just like, all right, see you later, guy. And he has no idea what the fuck happened.
These are what alien abduction stories is. Their brain going haywire, trying to think of an answer while being possessed to play Magic.
Yeah.
So where does the anal probing come in?
I don't know. That's a question for Brad, because he's the one actually, physically there with them.
What do you mean? You went to alien abductions, and those.
I'm saying they're like in their own little dream state. Because he's not gonna be conscious while I'm fucking possessing him.
No, it'd be more
trapped within their own mind.
It'd be more like what's that show where they don't remember? It'd be more like Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Quantum Leap.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I could totally be your fucking. What's his name?
I don't know. You're bringing up shows I don't know.
Oh God, the original Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula.
The original? What the fuck?
With Scott Bakula.
With Scott Bakula.
Scott Dracula.
Yeah.
Fun note. The stunt double for Quantum Leap was Saz Pataki.
Say that again? What?
Saz.
You thought I couldn't do it again.
I did not.
Scott Bakula. You remember back when I was working for Scott Bakula?
You could do. You could be Al.
Al.
Yeah. That's the. He's the hologram that follows Sam Beckett around.
I should talk Alex into fucking cosplaying as Al. I'll build her a fucking little. What the fuck did he call his pad?
I don't know what he
It's a
called
light
it.
pad.
Yeah, hologram that only Sam can see and hear. He's got a whole backstory. Born in 1934 to an Italian father and a Russian mother.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in an orphanage. He's a rear admiral. Maybe that does have something to do with anal probing.
You fucking idiot.
He's a womanizer. Married several times.
What's new? How old is this show?
80s.
Yeah, of course
Yeah,
he's a
80s.
womanizer.
Yeah, 80s. And then there's Ziggy. Yeah. So anyway,
I fucking love Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap was the shit.
Time travel, man.
Yeah. He would
was
jump,
like-
Sam Beckett would jump from body to body, and the episode was him, like, he'd jump into a body that was in a fucked up situation, and then he'd have to, like, get them out of that situation, or maybe they were supposed to die, but they need to live, and he'd, like, alter that, and then once his quest was done, he would leave their body and like time travel and jump into another body in another time.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was basically like
So is he a ghost?
he was time traveling MacGyver who stole actors from Walker, Texas Ranger. Like that's like the whole quality and fucking thought process.
No, he was
telling you.
he was in the quantum.
Yeah.
He was in this machine, and they like zapped him into this machine, and he just
He shoots through time.
Yeah, he shoots through
into
time.
the conscious like.
And they don't remember anything. Like he'll jump into their body, and he's in them for like 3 or 4 days, and then when he leaves, they don't remember anything that happened in those 3 or 4 days.
He goes in, gets in a sticky situation, fixes it with MacGyver psychology, essentially, and basically overcomes their problem as though it's his problem. Like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, and then
But then it's all cheesy bad dudes.
But this
the actors are so cheesy.
Yeah, and this guy is a hologram that felt like he can only see him, so he goes into another quantum room or whatever, and they hologram him to wherever he's at so that he can talk to him and help him. Like he's like, whose body am I in now? Well, it looks like you're in Bobby Sue from, Bobby Sue's background is this, and they've got to figure out how to help Bobby Sue.
Yeah. Oh, you're in Alexander the Great.
Yeah. And he went way back, but he never traveled forward, right? Never went to the future.
No,
it was always back.
Never future. It was always back.
It was always back.
Did he stop? Did he stop Hitler?
No,
that's the only thing.
He had to help Hitler because our nation needed it. I was just kidding.
I was like, what?
So they
it's
did
a joke that fell flat. Is what it was.
They did do a reboot. They did do a reboot, but they've already canceled it. I think it had 2 seasons.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah,
it was gross.
I watched it, but it wasn't what I was hoping. I only watched it because it reminded me of the old one. Because watching the old one's a little cheesy at this point, but it was still a very fantastic show. And who doesn't love Scott Bakula?
Yeah.
And knowing now what I know, that Sas Pataki was the stunt double for Scott.
Who the fuck is Sas Pataki?
I don't know. Maybe if you could see stuff and hear it.
Yeah. Only Murders in the Building. That's Sas Pataki.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
She
was shot by a I'm trying to be serious. I couldn't do it. Sit here and talk about her like she's a real person.
That's what I was confused about. Because Dad keeps referencing, or you both keep saying something. I'm like, who the fuck is this person?
She's
double for her.
She's a stunt double for Steve Martin's character Brazos. and they became very good friends. And she was killed. Actually, she wrote a script for a movie, and about Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, and Martin Short's podcast, and her ex protege shot her and stole the script. Actually, that's in the wrong order. Stole the script and then shot her. So yeah.
Scott Bakula was in it too.
Scott Bakula was in it too. Yeah, because she did some stunt double work for Scott Bakula. It was all because she wanted to write this script so she could be a writer, because her dream was to own a trampoline park in New Jersey.
Yeah, to teach kids how to be stuntmen.
How to be stunt doubles. Like, because the stunting world needed a trampoline camp. By the way, just so that you know, Sas Pataki's not a real person.
I know, you motherfucker.
It's played by Jane Lynch.
I see that now.
Yeah. But anyway. So.
Until you pulled that up, I did not know that, you fuck faces. All I kept hearing was the name Sas Pataki.
It's a fun name to say.
She got shot.
She got shot and then shoved down into an incinerator.
Trash incinerator.
Yeah. And the only reason they discovered her is because her replacement shoulder
from Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Was left.
Yeah. Because you can't burn. It's titanium. It didn't burn.
Mm-hmm. They make the best stuff.
Yeah. Bulgaria.
I had way too many bad things just pop through my head.
Yeah. So,
were Mammal's knees from Bulgaria?
They might have been. I don't know. They could have been.
Did they give those to you as remains?
That's what I was wondering. That's the part I wasn't trying to ask.
Because, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's dark.
No,
I'm just curious.
I don't think.
Sorry, my inner wonder was like, "Whoa, did they give that to you?"
See, I'm glad your brain went to what I did.
I don't think so.
Do they just fish it out of the ashes and go? I guess. Do we give it to the hospital? Can they reuse this?
I'm gonna make a wind chime out of it.
I'm gonna make a wind chime out of them.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't actually ever get the remains. Like, they just put them in the grave, then the headstone. Because Papa bought a headstone where you could put the thing in. So, and they were like, "Hey, when we cremate her, do you want to hold on to her until?" And Papa was like, "Absolutely not. Like, you guys can hold on to her. I don't want the remains in the house." Like, it wasn't. He just found it uncomfortable. So he was like,
I'm right there with him.
So so they kept.
I got a little tiny miniature urn with some of my grandpa's ashes sitting on the shelf.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just saying, I'm down with it.
He's seen me do all kinds of shit at this point. If you guys are worried about that, they're in the house, and he's probably like,
my thought process was, I saw a TikTok reel, and I don't remember what exactly it was. But this dude was like, someone was hitting a weed pipe, and he was like, those are my dad's ashes. And they were like, what? And he's like, when my dad passed, he was cremated. And then I had his ashes turned into a bowl so I could always smoke a bowl with my dad. And I was like, what the fuck? That is awesome, and that is what I would do with them.
I saw Taylor Tomlinson on TikTok, and she was talking to a crowd, and somebody in the crowd was like, "My dad is a bong. Like, I took his ashes and had them put him in the polymer and then sculpt a bong for me so that I could smoke." Because she said, I didn't discover weed until after my dad had passed. So, this is a way for me to always smoke weed with my dad. And I was like, okay. And then Taylor Tomlinson was like, boy, I can tell I'm in Portland.
That's some fucking shit. That is a Portland-ass thing. I say as a retard from Indiana who's like, I do that same shit.
I don't take care of pipes and bongs, and I would break or drop or like, oh, there goes that fucking idea. It's probably not that good. Plus, it'd be like, my grandpa didn't smoke weed. Like, why am I trapped in here?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
That's
Right.
awesome.
So now that we went down the Saskatchewan shoulder, Bulgarian shoulder rabbit hole,
What the fuck?
we can transition not to, I don't know why. This is not a transition at all. I don't even know why I'm even saying it's a transition. So what did you think of board game night last night?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck?
It was a lot of fun, especially because Levi was there. Just kidding.
It was, yeah, we had a blast. Levi wasn't there. So.
No, you would have had fun if you were not busy and neglecting us. You know?
Yeah.
But no, I played some games I never played before.
Yeah, me too.
And they were very interesting. One of them I'm kind of thinking about buying, but I don't know if I want to go buying more shit. Just to own.
Oh, right.
I got a lot of shit.
Right.
But yeah, I had fun. They were games I wouldn't have picked up and bought most likely on my own, or even looked at. Like you'd really have, dude. I'm a tough sell at a convention. Like you got to do some crazy shit to get me to stop walking when I come by. Like,
Right.
So
yeah, me
I don't
too.
play a lot of shit.
I don't like to just grab stuff and play.
Yeah, the only time I play new board games is when I'm forced to by social groups, which is essentially going to a game night.
Yeah. So I am one of those guys that really has to want to play. If I don't want to play, then I can't. I have trouble getting into it.
Yeah.
I played 3 different games yesterday. The first one was Robot Quest Arena, I think is what it was called.
It looked pretty wild.
It was fun. It
Like
was a little
battle
crazy,
bots.
but yeah, it was like battle bots on the board game. It was kind of fun. It was enjoyable. I could see where you would get through, it was maybe a half hour game long wise, so not terribly long, but in depth enough for you to get into it. And when you lose, you go, "Oh, motherfucker, I want to play again." I could definitely see where that would be a game where you could spend, a couple hours playing a couple of games and having one, different outcomes each time you play it, but two, having more strategy. The more times you play it, the better your strategy gets for how you would do. Because basically what we did was it was me, Brett, Annie, and Nate. And basically what happened was me and Nate and Brett beat the shit out of each other. And Annie just ended up just killing us all at the end. And
You guys didn't want to beat on her. And you just...
Well, we took shots at her, but for whatever reason, she just she made a couple of comebacks and then just wiped us out. So it was, but yeah, so it was fun. And then I played 5 Minute Dungeon, which I had never played before. Which, have you played that?
No, I have
you
not.
played that?
No.
So it's a timed game, obviously 5 minutes, but you've got to flip over cards. And it was very chaotic. And it was very fast paced, and it was very sometimes it was what the fuck is going on? Not that it wasn't fun, but it was funny because you would, like I said, you're trying to throw down cards as fast as you can, but your teammates are trying to throw down the same cards. So there was a lot of times where you're I literally just kept doing this, and somebody would throw down the card before I could get mine down. So I'm just literally just doing, trying to throw a card down and can't get it done. Yeah, I'm just Brett, I can't wait to text Brett tonight to find out, because he said Aubrey goes into full panic shutdown mode when shit's timed. like anxiety wise, and he's like, we were in the middle of playing that, and he's like, I can't wait to go to Walmart and buy this and play it with Aubrey and watch her spiral out of fucking control.
I love that.
And so I can't wait to hear like how that all went, because I think he was gonna go get it today, or maybe he went last night. I don't know, but I had fun playing it. It was just like I said, it was nerve wracking. The third game we played, Mike brought, and it was basically like you're trying to convince. It had something to do with a train track and putting cards down, and you had to convince the conductor to kill the other team's people, like to choose the other team's track to like wipe out their group. So, and it was okay, but I could see where it'd be a lot more fun if there was like maybe more people or more cards. I don't know. It's probably not a game I'd ever. It was missing something. I don't know if it'd ever be a game that I'd pick up again. I'd volunteer to play again, or even recommend anybody to pick up. Now the other two, I would. I thought they were good enough to buy and have, but yeah. So, what were the games you played?
The one was Things in Rings. And it was like a word association. You had 3 rings that made like the Venn diagram or whatever, and then everybody got cards. And the idea was you play out all of your cards, and if you put one in a ring and it was in the wrong spot, then you had to draw a card, and then it was the next person's turn. But if you didn't, then you could play another one. So like if you got them all right, you could play out your hand kind of thing, and then whoever was least of cards wins. And then there's one person that knows what all the words are to kind of be the judge of what goes where. And it's like you draw cards for the, like, okay, this word can't have the letter R in it. Or for the context, it's like you would find this in a house. And then the other one would be like an attribute, and it's like it's made of wood. And then you put them, if they fit in more than one like area, then you put them in the overlap spots. And then if they fit in all 3, it's in the center. Or it could have no attributes whatsoever. So people guess, it's like, okay, we'll have a card with a frog on it. And they're like, okay, if it's in this one or that one or whatever. But it was just fun, quick and easy, like a lot of fucking cards, but once you get the rhythm of it and get going, it's a lot of fun. The other one I played was Heat. It's like a racing game, and there's a whole track with a number of spaces, and then you have this little placard, like kind of playmat like thing, and it's got a little shift knob to show which gear you're in, and then you have a deck of cards that you draw from for movement, and then you play out of your hand, and then you have heat for your engine is like a kind of a resource or something for you to spend and use to go faster or slower, or shift twice, or there's speed limits around corners, so if you go too fast around the corner, you can spin out. And like it was a little convoluted until you got going, and then it was like one of those games where you have to be a fan of it to enjoy it, or like you have to get the hook of it, And I think that could have been more fun the more times people would have played it. Like if we would have been able to play that exclusively in a night and nothing else, once everyone was on the same page, it'd be a lot more fun. And then the other one was Panda Royale, which was you had a big bag of different polyhedral dice, different colors, and they all do something different. Everybody starts with one yellow one, and then you roll, and whoever gets the highest gets to pick 6 dice or whatever. It depends on how many people you have, I think, but you pick 6 dice out, and then you go through and draft a die, and each person, if you get, like, the green one is a D20, is just for face value, you write down that total, and then if you get purple ones, you multiply those by 2. If you get blue ones, you can multiply those by 2, but only if you have a glitter blue one. And like there's just different little things, and then you figure up all these little scores. You put it at the end, and you go about 10 rounds of that. And like the math gets weird at the end because like some of the dice do some pretty crazy shit. Like the red dice, half the numbers are in white, half of them are in black. If you get them on black, it's a negative. And then you add all the red dice up and then multiply it by the number that of red dice there are. So if you've got 4 of them and they all land on black and they're negative and you add them all up, they end up being fucking a big ass negative number that hurts your fucking score.
Yeah.
But if you land it just right, because it's so risky that there's a lot of red dice and there's a lot of blue ones. So if you end up with a lot of red ones, you can have a roll that shits out like 400, like real quick. And it's like, it just depends on, you know, like your strategies. Like I played one game and I did, like I felt like I had fun and did well, even though I didn't win, by getting mostly only the blue dice. So they kept multiplying by 2 and I had a fucking ass load of them. And then there was another game where it was like, all right, I got a bunch of yellow dice because those add to your roll. And if the yellow dice is like the dominant dice you roll with and win, then it counts. Well, if you got extra yellow dice, you're automatically going to beat everybody else with their only one little D6. And you got like 3 D8s and a fucking D6 of your own. I'm just rolling 20 with my yellow. Like, now I get a pick first when you do the whole dice thing. But yeah, it was fun. It could be quick, especially if everybody's got their phones there with calculators.
No.
It is a little mathy. But like, you literally just take a bag of dice with you and those pads, or you could, you know, like if you play it enough, you could write the pads down and make your own real easy with a notebook.
Right.
But no, I liked it. That was probably my favorite out of them.
Cool. And you guys were playing a board game when I got home.
We were playing Sequence. It's a homemade board game. I mean, it's an actual game, but my old roommate, my buddy Hunter, his grandma made it, and it's a game he grew up playing. All it is you take 2 decks of cards, take out the jokers, obviously, and on the board it has a copy of each card with 2 decks, so 2 of each card, and all it is it's 2 teams, so you go in clockwise order, and say it starts with me. I'll be red team. Whoever's next to me is blue team, and then it just keeps reversing that order. You always have to have an even number of people to play with, but you're just trying to make 5 in a row twice. That's all you're doing. So you have 5 cards in your hand, and I'll play King of Hearts. I'll put my red chip on the King of Hearts. I'll draw a card. Next person's turn. And without talking to your teammates, because you're not allowed to communicate, you and your teammates are trying to get 5 in a row twice. And we have a lot of fun with it because there's a lot of times where you can tell what your team's trying to do and everything will start to line up, and then someone's like, "Yep," no, like your opponent will just be like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna ruin that. Put one of mine right in the center so you can't connect 5." And it's like, "What the fuck? Fuck you, suck my dick," and we'll just start screaming and yelling at each other. It's a fun time, simple game.
Yeah. Say, I knew you guys were playing something, but I had not seen it before. So,
and then we were playing Jackbox also, which isn't a board game, but it is a fun,
basically digital board game.
Yeah, it's a fun party game. We were playing. I don't know if you've done Quiplash before.
Yes. We
were playing Quiplash, and I can't remember what the other one was called, but it was something like Devils in the Details or something like that. And what it is you're all everyone who's playing is disguised as devils, and you're trying to act as normal humans and rack up your score doing ordinary human tasks, and basically whoever has the highest score at the end wins. And it's all done on your phone by clicking and tapping.
It's a lot of fun.
And it's what I love about Jackbox is you don't have to have friends who are into video games or know how a controller operates or anything. It's all done on the phone, and all of it is either it'll pop up with prompts for you to click on,
it's like
or
way better Kahoot.
Yeah, way better Kahoot. Except you can't customize it as like you could a Kahoot.
Right. Yeah,
it's
customize.
That's actually how I described it to them. I turned it on. I was like, "It's like Kahoot, guys. It'll give you a link to go to. Put in the room code." And then it'll tell you everything you need to do as we play the game.
You do have to buy the expansions and stuff.
Yeah, I only have 7. Jackbox 7.
I'm not sure what all ones. I think they have almost all of them that over at Aaron's.
And I was just saying that I know that now they sell like the mega party pack launcher or whatever, and you can buy them all in a giant bundle or whatever.
There's some fun ones, that's for damn sure. I like the where you design t-shirts.
Me and my friends have, I'll put it this way, it's kind of like, those group chats. If it ever got leaked, some of the things that we would do in that, oh, dude, we'd be in for some hate crimes. Yeah. Let's say that. We've all said some dumb shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because what it is
a lot of mom jokes.
Yeah. But it'll be
with illustrated pictures.
Yeah, because for like a minute and a half, everyone will just be writing prompts. Like, it'll give you like a theme or whatever. You'll just be writing shit down. And then for the next minute and a half, it's now going to randomly shuffle the prompts through everybody. And it's just going to fling one at Brad. And it's, your mom bent over the couch. And now he's going to draw a t-shirt with that prompt.
Yeah.
Shit like that. And it just gets awful because whatever people put down, crazy shit gets drawn up for it.
There's been a couple times where it's like, should we buy the shirts this time? Because it actually allows you to buy the shirts at the end of the game.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, like you can have them fucking made.
We've thought about it, but there's been several times, and my buddy's exact quote was, I feel like we will get a knock at the door if we order this. We have made some 9/11 jokes. We've made some...
Well, obviously.
That's the easy one, but it's the one everyone thinks of, so it's tame for me to say.
Yeah.
I gotta at least be tame with what I... Yeah.
Yeah, it's not poorly timed Holocaust jokes.
Hey.
Is there such thing as a poorly timed Holocaust joke?
That's what I'm thinking.
No, it's pretty much all of it.
There was a kid in Dakota's grade, actually.
I haven't heard of well executed, well timed one yet.
If you want to talk about poorly timed Holocaust jokes, he is, to this day, permanently banned from the Holocaust Museum in D.C. for life. For making a lot of Holocaust jokes in the museum.
That takes some balls.
You know what took the most?
It takes some lack of brains.
Yeah, I was going to say lack of brains, balls, however you want to put it. The most balls he had was, I don't know if you've ever been down.
More balls than brains.
Yeah. They have a big bin that has all of the shoes that they could recover from, the concentration camps.
Yeah.
And he looked over at one of his buddies and goes, hey, Jared, pulls one out of the bin and goes, what do you think of my Auschwitz 11s? In reference to, like, Jordans or whatever.
My God.
Yeah.
Nice.
That wasn't even...
Were they real? Those are from the Holocaust?
Yes. That's what the museum claims.
Would you touch a dead guy's shoe if you knew they died in 1940 in that motherfucker? Like, just, all bullshit aside, it's just simply a dead person's shoe at the first layer, and then it goes into so much more after that. Like,
yeah.
But to just any plain old fucking, this came off a dead body, like, no thank you. I don't want to fucking touch it.
And for anyone who's interested, you can look him up on YouTube. His name's Nuda. He has told the full story.
Not a sponsor.
No. He is a buddy of mine, though.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
We don't sponsor him. He doesn't sponsor us.
No, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, how do you just...
And again, that's not even what got him kicked out and banned.
Oh, God.
We got a lot of patience there.
Yeah. I can't repeat what he said that got him kicked out and banned. Oh, I mean, like...
I wouldn't.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't do it. All right.
I don't know. It just makes me want to not go to the... Like, I'm afraid to go there. They're going to be like, no, you've heard the story of that kid getting kicked out. And I'm like, fuck.
I'm not
the best
touching
thing
the
is,
shoes. Like...
Yeah, I already got a problem with touching dirty shoes.
The best thing is that wasn't even the worst thing he did on that DC field trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
That was Dakota's grade.
Yeah.
Think about all those people he grew up with. At least my people were tame.
He made a fine example for his peers that day.
My class almost wasn't allowed to go on the trip because they were contemplating after him never doing the DC trip again.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get to go on that trip when I was in school.
I lucked out. I actually am glad I went on that trip. That was a thoroughly...
I was too po.
I went on that trip, and all three of you guys went on the trip.
Dakota didn't.
Dakota didn't?
No, he was homeschooled during that
Oh,
time.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, you got to go.
Because you've
and-
talked about taking him.
Yeah, you got to go, and Lily got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have.
I don't know if Lily enjoyed it as much as I did, but I actually enjoy like museums and history and shit like that.
Yeah.
I loved walking around the Smithsonian's.
I'd rather do it as an adult, though, to be honest.
I'm with
Yeah.
you. I want to go as an adult now.
Yeah, I'd love to go back because I haven't been since I was that 8th grade trip.
I was gonna say that would have been what 2013 for me.
Yeah, would have been.
Yeah, yours
92 for me.
We should probably go before the election because afterwards, who knows what condition that place is going to be in.
Well, we're not going to make it in the next 2 days
Oh yeah, that's
because
right.
the election's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I gotta go vote.
Yeah, me too.
I've already been seeing my Twitter full of shit. Like one comedian I follow was like, so all right, theoretically, just saying, if the Civil War starts next week, what are the rules? Like, is it red versus blue? Is it shirts versus skins? Do the Republicans start in the flyover states and fight the coast? Do we all pick east side, west side, like the old gang war?
No,
Like, what's the rules here? Any special teams? Any special rules? Do we need to get Geneva involved? Like, I need to know what's going on before we start this.
All I know is I'm playing a single player RPG open world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
If shit hits the fan, it's just a single player open world RPG, and I'm gonna go through it.
Yep. I feel the same way about
Beat
that.
motherfucker, dude.
I'm just going to be on a man on a mission for a Twinkie. So that's from
Zombieland.
Zombieland. So, all right. Are we good with this one?
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
gonna say we're at like
Yeah.
57.
All right.
Book it.
All right, cool. So this has been our kind of hodgepodge penguin hodgepodge episode.
Hodge Penguin.
Hodge penguin. Penguin hodge.
Ozpodge.
Ozpodge. There you go. Ozpodge.
We got there.
Oh, we did. It took us a minute, but we got there.
Yeah, something else.
So yeah, so this has been Pints and Pages. I'm Nick,
I'm Brad.
I'm Levi.
and we will see you next time.
Pints and Podges.
Pints
Pints and
Podges.
Podges.
Oz and Pints.